It's been a long time since 1991, when Sonic made his first appearance, but many people remain loyal fans despite some questionable entries in the series and numerous false starts at a game meant to bring the series back to its former glory. The hopes and dreams of countless fans for over a decade may finally have been realized with the release of Sonic Mania. Is this game another miss, or has the Blue Blur finally made his triumphant return to high-speed platforming greatness? Sonic Mania has a basic plot, utilizing the same sprite-based cutscenes as the classics to tell its story. A quiet day in the world of the Sonic characters is interrupted when Dr. Robotnik discovers a mysterious new gem that transforms several of his robots into a powerful group known as the Hard-Boiled Heavies. As usual, Sonic and friends set out to put an end to his schemes. The story is very basic, but it adds a small element of lore in the amount you'd expect, without over-encumbering the game with a lot of unnecessary interruptions. Short cutscenes tie together the end of one level to the beginning of another, showing us just enough to make it feel like a seamless, consistent adventure. While you might not be expecting a lot out of the graphics, given the retro style to them, you may be pleasantly surprised. The sprites, while closely resembling the Genesis-era ones, have been meticulously redrawn, and are animated with significantly more frames than before. This, along with the limitless palette of colors available, make the characters, enemies, and levels all look extremely vibrant and animated. At times, I felt a bit of cognitive dissonance, because when you look closely, everything looks just a little too clean for a Genesis game, but it's definitely an improvement. The world of Sonic has never looked better, from the regular stages and enemies to the bonus and special stages. The look and feel of each type of gameplay has been recreated in a look that is distinctly classic and simultaneously very far beyond anything the hardware of that era could produce. It gives the game a unique feel to it, akin to some of the current demake style of games. While consoles of the 90s pushed available technology as far as they could to achieve the best graphics possible, the results were sometimes hit and miss. Early 3D graphics were sometimes very difficult on the eyes, and a mix of 3D environments and 2D items and characters could sometimes result in poor depth perception and misleading hitboxes. While Sonic Mania is faithful to its classic counterparts, it runs and plays much more smoothly than anything of its kind would have in that generation. It manages to make the best of both worlds, a game that looks classic, but maintains the performance you'd expect from a polished game of today. If the gameplay is the most important factor in most games, the music is easily a close second in a Sonic game. The music really sets the tone for the level, and Sonic Mania does a great job of taking fondly remembered tracks and breathing new life into them, such as the classic Green Hill theme. Or the very memorable Chemical Plant theme. Even the new zones have music that make them feel right at home in the Sonic universe, like the very upbeat Studiopolis theme. All the tracks feel fresh, entertaining, and very, very catchy. This is a true return to classic form for Sonic and Friends, with all the elements of the original Sonic games with some new twists thrown in to boot. You can play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, or Sonic and Tails together, with each character having different strengths specific to them. By playing the game with different characters, you're able to find areas previously inaccessible using their unique abilities. This gives the game plenty of replayability. While you're exploring, you'll see that the special and bonus stages have made a return. The blue spheres from Sonic 3 and Knuckles and the UFOs from Sonic CD have both been beautifully remastered. While the game will give you plenty of opportunities to find these playing normally, their addictiveness and difficulty will keep you coming back to them again and again in order to get that one last blue sphere or Chaos Emerald. The levels are a mix of classic designs and original ones, both full of familiar enemies and traps as well as new ones. Each zone's comprised of 2 acts, and each act will have its own boss. These bosses feel fresh and different, and even contain a few throwbacks to previous games. For years now, anytime a new Sonic game is released, we always ask, is this going to be a good game? For such a long time, the Sonic series has deviated away from its source material, where we've seen Mario split its main franchise into 3D as well as 2D gameplay successfully. Sonic has been almost exclusively 3D. Though there have been some very noticeable Sonic games that enjoyed a smooth transition to 3D, like Sonic Adventures and Sonic Generations, it's been a long time since we've seen a proper Sonic side-scroller that tried to reproduce the original formula instead of reinvent it. Sonic Mania brings to the table everything we loved about the original series, with a sense of newness and wonder that Sonic fans are sure to treasure. If you're a fan of the Genesis Sonic series, Sonic Mania should be a must-have for your collection.